welcome back to another episode of Encounter, episode 86.
Episode 86. My phone's on the desk.
Okay, I noticed.
That's so no one comments, oh, Dion's phone's on the
Yeah,
desk.
Dion's phone's on the desk. No. So we're very excited to have a very special episode today on this beautiful Saturday.
Yeah.
Very beautiful Saturday.
It's very cold, though.
Yeah,
I think it's cold.
I think it's comfortable.
In here, it's comfortable. Outside, I think it's a bit chilly. I left my house this morning. It was
Well,
little chilly.
to each his own. To each his own.
Okay, we're not all from Canada. Well, what's the lowest it gets in Thunder Bay?
Including wind chill,
Yes,
like minus 30 is like not
that's
that rare.
wind chill.
Yeah, with wind chill.
Okay, what about without? How often would that happen?
Pretty common.
What does that mean?
Like through December through like February, probably most days it's below minus 20.
Okay.
Like
That's
every
crazy.
day probably.
That's actually crazy.
Yeah.
What's the lowest we've got in
No, we're
Ireland?
just built different there.
In Ontario.
Yeah,
In
in
Canada.
Northern Ontario.
Northern Ontario.
Yeah.
That's Thunder Bay.
Yeah,
Okay. Fair enough.
yeah.
So you were born in Ireland.
I was born in Ireland, but I moved to Canada when I was I was less than one. So
Okay.
I grew up in Canada
Okay.
entirely.
Entirely.
Yeah,
Class. Sorry, did you hear that?
I do. That's some groovy
That's
music going on.
some groovy music. I don't know where it's coming
Some
from.
groovy
I'm just gonna
music.
reach my hand down here and just fiddle with a few things and hope it turns off.
Okay,
Ooh. Don't mind me.
but
Just waffle. Carry it.
yeah, but no. So we're excited to have all of our listeners joining us today for today's episode of Encounter. It's going to be a bit of a different episode. It's going to be just myself and Dion talking here about kind of what it's like being young Catholics in Ireland in this day and age.
Okay.
So, Dion, I think we probably have like a bit of a different perspective between us, but also in some ways pretty similar. So, right now,
Mm-hmm.
you are the auditor of the Newman Catholic Society, correct?
That is correct. Yeah.
So, that'd be awkward if it was wrong, because that would kind of ruin my whole train of questioning. But so for those that don't know, that is the Catholic Society at the biggest university in Ireland. So, like, kind of how did you get involved with that, and what is that like?
Yeah, I mean, Newman was kind of always, I think it was always part of college for me, because I started college and kind of straight away didn't really waste any time, and I was kind of a part of society. It helped that I knew people going into it, which I think it helps in any sort of setting, but yeah, I think just knowing a good few of the people who were already in the university in and around that sort of setting really helped me settle in. And I feel like when it comes to college, I think when it comes to anything, I think it takes people a lot of time, especially college, because you're going from an environment where typically, if I'm talking about people that go to college straight after school, you're going
Right.
from an environment that you've spent probably like 6
Your
years
whole
in.
life.
Yeah, and you've grown
Okay.
up. Okay, I'm just talking in terms
Yeah,
of like
yeah,
secondary
yeah.
school, but you've grown up in that environment. You're surrounded by people that you've grown to, you've grown to know over the 6 years. Now it's very normal for you to be around those people, and then you're going from that to going to a completely different setting, to a much bigger setting, a very different approach to everyday life. There's a sense
A lot
of
more freedom.
yeah, there's a sense of a lot more freedom. There's a sense of like autonomy over your work and your daily life. Whereas
Yeah.
in school, it's very sort of, it's quite rigid.
Yeah.
It's got a very rigid structure to it. And so, yeah, coming in, being a part of Newman straight away just gave me that platform to, it gave me that sort of platform to remain a part of Newman, but not just remain a part of Newman, but also to actually like actively participate in it and to give a bit of my time to Newman as well. So yeah, I mean, so for Newman's kind of main thing is we're obviously a society, and we're there to as a community for people who are looking for a Catholic community, but we do also want to like branch out and sort of reach people that we're called to reach out to. And so yeah, that's our main sort of I don't think we have a motto, but our
Okay.
main sort of vision and mission would be to like promote and encourage the Catholic faith around campus, and that's something that really appealed to me, and I
Yeah.
wanted to be a part of it. So yeah, first semester kind of just spent time with the people in Newman, became really good friends with some of them, and then the second semester joined the committee, and yeah, it was just we'd help around. As I joined as like an ordinary committee member, so I didn't
Okay.
have a big role necessarily, but I had a I was just an ordinary committee member, and then yeah, at the end of the year, being auditor, I don't know, being auditor was just kind of I never thought about it until like maybe a month before, and yeah, I'd always sort of shrugged it off.
Okay.
I don't know. I just didn't think I was the sort of personality that would suit the role of an auditor. And Eva Conroy, who used to work here, she was always. I think her project for the year was like to make me auditor.
Okay.
She was like, Dion's being auditor 100%, like he's getting that role. But no, like it was. I just sort of. Yeah, I saw it as an opportunity to put into practice what I learned that year and what I'd come to desire that year,
Okay.
which was wanting to branch out to people, and I just saw it as a good opportunity. I thought I had some good ideas for the following year, so I decided
Yeah.
to just
You threw your hat in the ring.
I did, and yeah, it's been great so far. I mean, very sort of early stages of the year. I would probably say I hope that's the busiest part of the year done, because Freshers Week just finished last week, and I really hope that's the busiest part done, because last week was like
Okay.
ridiculously full on,
Right.
because you're managing everything with Newman, with college and your lectures, and also having time for yourself,
Yeah.
which is and which can be tough. So
Okay.
so far it's gone off to a great start. We've seen a very substantial growth in numbers, which is really, really encouraging. And yeah, I just hope that it's fruitful from this point
Yeah.
onwards, and people.
No, I'm sure it will be.
Yeah.
And how do you like? Because you probably have more experience than maybe the typical person with regards to like reaching out to people and trying to get them involved. Like, what's been your experience with that?
Yeah, I think it helps that it's a very normal environment. It's not like you're inviting people into something that they're not necessarily used to. Typically, like these are the events that normal societies would do as well. Like these are the quiz nights, the what do you call them? The quiz nights, the movie nights, the dinners. Like these are normal sort of events that your typical society would do. So it's not like you're inviting them to an explicitly Catholic event.
Okay, I
that
see.
they'll sort of, as soon as you mention it, they won't be like, oh, okay, that's so obviously sort of
Right.
religious. I don't want anything to do with it.
Yeah.
People are open to things like dinners and stuff. So it's I find it quite easy to sort of bring it up and to invite people to it. And yeah, in terms of the responses I've had, yeah, I think you can only do so much as well.
Yeah.
Like you can invite someone to come to dinner, and if they come the first time and think, dinner, that was great, kind of up to the person to follow up. And
Yeah.
obviously you can try your best as well. But yeah, in my experience, it's been it's been a fairly sort of I feel like it's easy to invite people to Newman. Is
Yeah.
my experience. Yeah, no one's haven't really had any bad experiences with it, or as of yet. So but yeah, that's been my sort of experience with
Okay.
it.
And how has obviously that would sort of give you like a firm Catholic community that you're involved in.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about sort of the importance to you of community, and especially as someone who's like a Catholic in a country where that's a little unusual for people your age now?
Yeah. I think For me, I think it's probably the biggest like catalyst that's been the reason to that's seen the change that I've sort of had in my life the past couple of years, is that community. And I can see it because, but it's kind of weird. It's almost like God was like I had a community at a very sort of early age, and when I went into school, I kind of strayed away from it. Nothing really bad happened. It was almost like God was still sort of, he had like a bubble around me that was protecting me, and like sort of almost kind of like preserving me for when a community comes in, and then I could, get out. And it was
Okay.
almost like, like when I joined UCD, it was almost like I'd been a part of that community for years
I see.
before. So I think it's like it's vital for someone. I think it's impossible to do it on your own. And I think when you have people
To do what on your own?
to live out your faith on your own, I think so. I think, I'm not saying, okay, like, I think people have different approaches to it, and I think different communities do it in different ways. I just think you need, whatever way that is,
Yeah.
I think people are different. People have different approaches to how they approach their faith, and there's different communities for that, and that's great. I just think you should try to have a community,
Absolutely.
whatever that is.
And I think, I mean, humans, like, in general, need community, right? Like, we're
Yeah.
designed to be in community with others
Mhm.
and to have like relations
Yeah.
with other people. And I think that's like a big thing
Yeah.
nowadays. Like, people always talk about like, oh, the loneliness epidemic and like the depression is like a huge thing now when maybe it wasn't a couple hundred years ago. I
Mhm.
think like a big aspect of that, and I don't know what you think, is a lot of people nowadays just don't have
Yeah.
communities.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think what makes it so easier for us to have, well, it's because we have something in common that's like,
It's like an inbuilt community.
yeah, it's an inbuilt community, and it's such a core thing in life as well that
A core value.
yeah, it makes it even stronger kind of thing. Whereas, like, don't get me wrong, things like sports teams and things like whatever small little societies are great, but when you're looking at the big picture, like we're looking at the greater truth here,
Right.
and that's what brings us together. So I think that strengthens that community even more,
Right.
as opposed to just like, whatever sport you play, or
Yeah.
whatever society you sort of are a part of.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's sort of communities in UCD, at least it's the foundation, I think, for me to go out and to live a good sort of university life, in terms of,
Okay.
I think it's the foundation not just for having a good sort of like faith life and a
Yeah.
prayer life, but also for having a good like college life,
Like having fun and stuff.
well, having fun, so having fun as well, but also like doing well academically. I think
Okay.
it's a foundation there
In
as
what
well.
way? Like just encouragement and stuff like that.
Well, it's encouragement, because a lot of the people, in my experience, especially coming in as a first year, a lot of those people are like already in this are part of the community. They tend to be older than you.
Okay.
A lot of them even tend to have graduated out of college.
Okay.
So these are people that have gone through what you are currently going through,
Right.
and so they understand what you're going through.
Yeah.
And so it becomes a lot easier for you to resonate with them, and for them to resonate with you.
Right.
Which, yeah, it just helps it that that this isn't just coming from a whatever guidance counselor from a different who's
Yeah.
like whatever 30 years older than me. It's coming from like a peer.
Okay.
A peer that is going through the exact same things as me, or has gone through the exact same things as me very recently. And yeah, I just find that a lot more easier to resonate with than to
Yeah.
I mean, you were a Newman as well, though.
A little bit. Yeah.
A little bit. Why just a little bit?
Well, I wasn't as. I mean, you're the otter. I wasn't as involved as you.
Yeah.
But no. Yeah.
There's like I don't know what it's. Actually, you would probably know though, because I think you can. Obviously, you're not a part of Newman anymore. You're not part of UCD, but you can see, because you were there from the early, like you were there, but like
2017 is when I first went to the Newman Catholic Society, and is definitely built up a lot
Yeah.
during the time that I was in university. But no, definitely. I mean, at least for me, in terms of like coming into my faith, a big thing was I joined a Bible study that was facilitated through the Newman Catholic Society. And that made like a big difference for me because you're like around other people your age who are also like interested in the faith, and like you can ask questions and you can talk to people like, oh, I don't really understand this, blah, blah, blah. What do you think? Blah, blah, blah. And then there was a guy who was leading the Bible study who was very knowledgeable, who could kind of like guide us and inform us and tell us kind of what everything in the Bible means and stuff like that. So that was played like a huge role in me kind of coming into my faith in college. So I definitely think it's like really important, and also like not only in like the terms that you've said, but also in terms of like, I think it's like well agreed upon that you are kind of a product of the people that you surround yourselves with. So like, for example, for like me, all my friends basically went to university, so it wasn't even like a question like, oh, what'll I do? It's like, no, obviously I'm going to go to university because like that's what all my friends are doing. But it's kind of like that with other stuff, right? Like if you surround yourself with people who are like working hard, studying, going to college, like whatever, actually putting an effort into their degree rather than just kind of mailing it in, that's going to rub off on you and cause you to kind of work hard too. So I think like having kind of a community that has like a positive influence on you, and if everyone you're around is going to mass and like praying and like frequenting the sacraments and stuff like that, you're probably more likely to do that too. And like encouragement and stuff like that.
Thinking about when you said like those people around there want to help you improve, I think that's probably because I think we're called to be like the best version of ourselves, and I think if we understand that and if we really desire that, I think we will sort of lean towards wanting to have those virtuous friendships and those virtues. We had a talk at Newman there last Monday, so this just past Monday, and it was on virtuous friendships. And like that's the whole thing. These people are there these friendships exist to help you understand what you are doing, like what can you do better. Like if these friends are there to call you out on things, well, not like they're there to like they're people that
it's important to hold, like have people who will hold you accountable,
exactly,
and stuff like that.
And there's and I think that's what sort of Newman I think is filled with. I think it's just filled with people there that are just genuine people, and they're people that just care about you. And so there are people there that will just they really just care about you, so they want the best for you. So if they will tell you what they think. Like
Dion, you got your phone on the table.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think that's that much of a big deal. No, I'm just someone's texting me though.
Popular guy or what?
Can you guess who texted me?
Tomas?
No. But I was actually talking about the virtuous friendship talk.
Okay.
Who do you think it is?
Neil?
Now? Yeah.
Fair.
What do you think he texted me?
I don't know.
You just said sweet exclamation mark.
Nice.
That's actually one of the things I've noticed with you is your text. You can like when I read your text, I read it in Cian's voice. Do you find that? It's like every time you send something in, it's like nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair.
Yeah, my bro told me that. He was like, yeah, I always read your texts in your voice. And I was like, ah.
It's because exclamation marks.
I think I text the same way that I talk.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
And you literally use an exclamation mark every single time you text.
I think usually I use like a few.
Thomas can't stop laughing.
Like if I only send you one exclamation point, that's like not a lot.
Oh, really?
I'm like calm. I feel like normally I'm with like the double. I feel like normally I hit like sometimes the triple exclamation point.
Wow. So one is actually just your normal voice.
One is like this. Nice. Two is like, okay. And then three just goes on and on.
Three is like we don't see 3 that often.
No, 3 is like I'm excited. I'm pumped.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever gone to 3.
You probably have.
Really?
I would guess you have.
Fair enough. Okay.
Yeah. Go back in the when you're on the way home, go back through.
I don't think I will.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm that
we'll
pushed.
see. We'll see. I think he's pushed.
I don't think I am.
But no. But yeah, I also think in terms of like facilitating community, because you've been involved with like the Eli kind of community to a certain extent,
Yeah.
and they kind of part of their facilitation is through like sports and like that kind of thing. So like what's kind of your thoughts? Like I feel like that's like, especially for like guys,
Yeah.
for me at least, it's kind of uncomfortable to like just be like, hey, let's hang out. Like to me that's kind of weird with people I don't know. But if it's like, oh, let's play soccer or something with people I don't know, I'm more willing to do that.
Yeah. I think. Wait. So what are you asking? Are you saying?
I feel like that's like an effective, like I
Oh,
feel like
yeah.
in terms of like you can use different tools to like reach out to
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
it doesn't just have to be like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Bible studies are awesome and I love Bible studies.
Yeah.
But like some people are maybe not that open to going to a Bible study with people they don't know.
Yeah.
But like you can use other things to
You
like,
can get so creative with it.
Yeah.
You can do so many cool things. Like football is just one. It's like the common thing that most boys like. So that's
Yeah.
why the football thing works really well. But even things like pipes and whiskey nights, like those things are like I find them like that's actually how I probably decided to start like I wanted to be a serious part of this thing. Was because I went to one of those nights at like a friend's house. Well, yeah, and it was just by sort of not really engaging that much in it, but being in that environment and seeing everyone sort of in that environment and seeing how it was a bit of a reality check as well. Because I had just come from like I'd never experienced anything like that before, and it was just a bit odd and it seemed a bit foreign to me.
okay.
But it still really appealed to me, and I really wanted it. So, yeah, things like that, I think are, I think they're just an amazing way of reaching out to people. Because I think a lot of the times as well, when you invite people to those events, they're obviously, like I said, they're not explicitly Catholic, so they might not even have that in their mind that, okay, this guy is Catholic or whatever, and he's inviting me to this event. He probably wants me to start thinking about these things. It's like, no, he's inviting me to this event probably just because he wants to play football with me.
Okay.
And then when they come there, they realize, oh wow, everyone here is actually pretty you're not explicitly saying that you're Catholic and you want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just the way that you're sort of living out. Your sort of. Your life, like it's just when you like when I invite someone to football and they see that we're going to mass in the morning before we play football and we're doing these things together, even though like the main sort of core thing that brings us together is football, they'll just automatically realize, okay, wow, this is actually a lot more than just a group of lads coming together to play. So
No,
yeah,
for sure.
those kind of different ways of of sort of bringing people into the community, I think are great. And like I said, you can get creative with them. You can do so many cool things.
Yeah.
Football is just one example.
What's the most creative thing you've done?
What's the most creative? I don't think I've been that creative myself.
Okay.
But I would say like the one that caught my the one that really, the one that I think that probably that caught my eye was the pipes and whiskey night. I was like,
Okay.
okay, wow, I've never seen anything. I've never heard of anything like that before. So
Do you like whiskey?
no, I actually didn't drink at the time.
Okay.
I still don't really anymore, but so I didn't actually try whiskey. I've never actually
Okay.
tried whiskey before.
Okay. Me
Yeah.
neither, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't really.
I don't drink alcohol.
You
yeah.
don't drink. Yeah. But yeah, I actually wouldn't. I would like to try whiskey.
Okay.
Yeah.
Prop R12 or what?
Prop R12. That's that's your boys one.
Yeah, my boy. Yeah.
Who are your boys? So you got
Like my boys or my like
I don't know what
theoretical
that means.
boys.
Your theoretical boys.
I got a couple like Justin,
Who's Justin?
Bieber. He's a Christian actually.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Is that's why he's your boy?
No, I like his music though.
Okay,
Too.
okay.
Yeah. No, he's a cool guy.
Fair
But
enough.
but I feel like even like through music, like that's like a powerful ministry as well, or like evangelizing
Yeah.
opportunity. Like I feel like there's just so many like opportunities to kind
Yeah.
of like evangelize
Yeah, I
to
think if
people and be like a positive representation of like Catholicism when like some people don't have maybe necessarily like that many examples of it in their lives.
Mm.
I feel like if you can be like a powerful, like a positive model of it, that's like really valuable.
I think being a model of it is great, but also like we were talking about this earlier, like people would like take part in like choirs and stuff, not actually being Christian or Catholic
Yeah.
themselves, and through just the beauty of that music,
Yeah.
or even just like playing. I was talking to there's a new organist in UCD, and he was saying he obviously has been playing the organ for a while, but he finds that in playing the organ itself, that's kind of like a prayer in itself. So things like that, not just I think listening to the music, but also engaging and actually taking part in it can be
Right.
great for some people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, definitely.
That could be another good idea,
Yeah.
like a music.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
That would be cool. Did you play any instruments?
No.
Really? Okay.
Do you
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
I used to play the piano. I used to play guitar.
Oh, that's cool.
I used to play I played the French horn in high school and the saxophone in middle school for
Okay.
for music class.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a lot of instruments.
Yeah.
Wait, can you still play them now?
I could probably play the piano
Really?
with,
Oh, wow,
with
okay.
warm up. I could probably strum something on the guitar, but saxophone, French horn, nah. I'd be struggling. So, would you say you're like a big music guy or what?
I don't know if I'd label myself as a big music guy. I like music. I just
Okay.
don't think. I think I listen to the exact same music all the time.
Okay.
Yeah, so I like the music that I listen to,
Interesting.
and I like music in that sense. But I wouldn't have like a broad palette when it comes to
Okay, but you have some songs that you like.
yeah.
And probably you would like to hear them like played out on the radio, you would say.
That yeah.
Yeah, if you had some requests. So I feel the same way. And that's why I'm so grateful and appreciative that we can send in song requests as well as other feedback to the radio station by texting or WhatsApping 089-467-2000 or even calling 014-123-456 in order to give financial support, send in prayer requests, or give any feedback to the radio station. And
smooth transition.
unfortunately, we're just about out of time for today. But I hope everyone is having a great day so far.
Mhm.
And I hope that you enjoyed today's episode. We'll be back at it again. You know
Next
what I mean?
Saturday.
As always,
As
next
always.
Saturday at 2:00 p.m. Irish time. Don't get confused, Tomas. It's Irish time, not American time. So yeah, until then, have a great week.
God bless.
From myself, Dion, and the boss, Tomas.
Top dog.
The top dog. God bless and take care.